So all we're going to talk about is tonight's game, right? Packers, Bears, oldest rivalry in the NFL, 100th year of the NFL, kickoff to the NFL. That's the... Wait, what? Oh, what? Antonio Brown could be suspended and they could get all of their money back because he threatened to take a swing at his general manager? Oh, wait. Let's go to Oakland and find out what Mike Mayock had to say.
Antonio Brown's not in the building today. He won't be practicing. I don't have any more information for you right now. And when I have some and it becomes appropriate, you guys will all get it. I promise you. But that's it for today.
Today is Wednesday. Wednesday is game plan day. Now, granted, it could be different because they play on Monday, not on Sunday like everybody else. Nonetheless, this is the day in which game plans are installed in the National Football League. And when you don't have your star wide receiver, well, that's no big deal because it hasn't been a rocky preseason, right? Antonio Brown has been... Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Forget about Pittsburgh and the fact that he quit on his team and then didn't play week 17 and then ultimately was traded from Pittsburgh. Forget about all that. Since he's arrived in Oakland, he burned his feet in a cryo chamber and had a very slow recovery at that. Then he sued the league not once, but twice to use a helmet that the league had ruled you could not use. He was called out previously by Mayock, going back to the second time he went after the helmet thing. He not only no-showed on practices and got fined for it, he no-showed on a walkthrough in Winnipeg, Canada, when he was in Winnipeg, Canada, and got fined for it. Oh, but wait, there's more. What led to this was he posted the fine letter on social media and was critical of the team doing it. We have got this. It becomes a now issue. And frankly, Antonio Brown did the Raiders a favor. He did them a favor. If he did this after week 1 of the season, because he's a veteran, his contract will become fully guaranteed. But because he did it now, the Raiders can suspend him and ultimately cut him for conduct detrimental and potentially recoup all of that money. This is not a Mike Mayock decision. This is a John Gruden decision. But the decision is pretty clear. Do you side with your general manager and with your culture, or do you side with your player? That's it. Because, look, players aren't stupid. Even though they know Antonio Brown might be their most talented player, the idea that you can square off with Mike Mayock, you can mock Mike Mayock's fines, and still keep your job when the team has the ability to get out of your contract. If Gruden does it, he loses his front office. And I don't think he loses the team if he cuts Antonio Brown. Frankly, I think he has its potential to lose the team if he doesn't cut Antonio Brown. These are the moments. And this is why you have a 10-year deal. Because you have to be willing to every once in a while go, that was a bad deal, let's cut him. Because it's not like if you keep him, it's going to get better, right? Clearly, Antonio Brown has no care for authority. Remember, actually, Jason Whitlock joined us last week, and he had this to say about AB.
AB doesn't want to play football, man. And that's a hard thing for someone that's been as competitive and as successful as him to admit. And so he shows it to you in other ways. You guys are both married. You guys are both old enough to have had friends that a spouse wants out of a marriage. They don't come directly to the spouse and say, I want a divorce. They start showing it to you in behavior. I want out. That's what you're looking at with AB. He's made enough money. A few years ago, Vontaze Burfict put him in the protocol program, and he wants no more of that.
I don't actually think that's what it is. I think Antonio Brown is a social media problem, and that social media constantly tells athletes they're right, authority is wrong. right? Go look at social media. The president's the biggest idiot on earth. Congress, a bunch of idiots. CEOs, massively overpaid egomaniacs. Commissioners of the NFL are bad, are evil. Owners, modern day slave owners. NCAA, modern day slave owners. NCAA is bad. All of these things are bad. All of these people have issues with authority. It's like a generation of people with mom and dad and authority issues. And it all comes out with support for people who go against the grain. Oh, the NFL is racist. Do you know there's going to be 10 non-white starting quarterbacks in the NFL? That's 10 out of 32. You do the math, okay? It's the highest percentage we have ever had week 1 in the National Football League. Ever. And it's only going to get higher because the position is changing and evolving, and our ability to coach young players, black players, to being quarterbacks, which is a position of affluence, in order to get that quality coaching, is in fact changing. The league's not racist. The league doesn't like pains in the asses. It's a team sport. And Antonio Brown is not a teammate. He's a me guy. He's part of this generation. I don't think it has anything to do with him playing football. I think he wants to play football his way. And I don't think that's how the NFL rolls. And if you look at every one of these issues, it comes down to, did he do what authority told him to do? Hey, why didn't you wear some socks and booties when you're in the cryo chamber? Because I didn't feel like it. Why won't you just wear the new helmet? I don't like to do what I'm told. Then, when he was told what to wear, he tried to find a way around those rules and tried to find another helmet, which is essentially his helmet, even though it wasn't his helmet. And that was shot down. And now he gets caught mocking the very authority who pays him, who signs his check, and gets called on it and wants to go to blows. Antonio Brown doesn't not want to play football. He's just part of this social media generation that thinks they're always right, that authority's wrong. And if you don't believe him, go to social media now and find out how Mike Mayock's an idiot because he's never been a GM before. Everybody's dumb, except the players, except the people who go against the grain. That's who he is. And now John Gruden has to deal with it. John Gruden has to make what I think is an incredibly difficult decision. Do you admit you were wrong and you get rid of Antonio Brown and support your general manager, or do you support Antonio Brown and basically tell Mike Mayock that nothing he says, nothing he does, no way in which he feels, his authority does not matter? That's where the Raiders are. Which, by the way, is probably the most Raider thing ever, right? This feels like a Raider story. The Raiders are, look, they went to Vegas. They had a plan. Just $1,000. $1,000. $1,000. 3-day weekend. The least I'm going to go down is $1,000. That's my entertainment cost. That's my bonus from last Christmas. I've been saving up. Right now the rooms are cheap. There's the fight this weekend. I'm going to go there Friday, Saturday, leave Sunday morning so I don't get caught in traffic on I-15 coming back. I'm going to leave super early. $1,000 is the least I'm going to go down. And we haven't even gotten to the season yet. We haven't even gotten to where you're sitting in the sports book on a Saturday or a Sunday getting ready to watch the NFL. We haven't even gotten to that part yet. Or Thursday night to bet on tonight's game. And now you're down $1,000. Do you stick to what your plan was, or do you go to the ATM and take out 500 more? That's where the Raiders are. Hi, I'm Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports Radio, and you need to subscribe to the Fox Sports Radio YouTube channel where you can hear and see me. Why not? Plus, everybody else who's awesome here in Fox Sports Radio.